Good morning, my YouTube family. How is everybody today? Kiss up to God. To God be the glory for all of the wonderful works that He does. Thank you, God, for another do over. Thank you, God, for another day to get it right. Thank you, God, for the rain. Thank you, God, for the sun. Thank you, God, for a day we've never seen before. Thank you, God, for life, health, and strength. Thank you, God, for family and friends. Thank you, God, for just being God, for being who you are, for giving us another day in the land of the living. How is everybody this morning? And God, if we have opportunity to say I'm sorry, allow that because I'm sorry can restore, it can recover a whole lot of stuff. I'm glad that you're joining me today. My name is Jennifer Brooks. I am your Southern Belle. How is everybody this morning? I'm so glad to be with you as usual. I count it all joy to be able to have the opportunity to come on just to say hi, just to give you words of encouragement, just to um, be here. It's a blessing. So today I'm coming up with unattended grief. Unattended grief. And that could be death, that could be heartache, that could be anything. So here we go. Unattended grief. Well, unattended means not noticed or dealt with, abandoned, ignored. We just don't even deal with it. Sometimes we just let it stay there and we don't bother with it. And of course, grief is what you experience after a significant loss, including distress, separation anxiety, confusion, yearning, obsession, dwelling in the past, and apprehension about the future. And apprehension, of course, is your anxiety or your fear that something bad or unpleasant will happen. So, what's behind the grief? What's behind all of the unattended grief? When I say unattended, I mean not noticed, not dealt with it. Do we not attend to it because we're not ready to deal with it? Because unattended grief is pain. It's pain. And pain is pain and anger. And the pain that is difficult to face. So we stay away from it. And anger is the bodyguard for the pain. And a lot of times we're angry because of betrayal, because of being hurt, because you put your trust. Somebody has broken your trust. So all of that is dealing with that anger and that pain. And sometimes we don't deal with it, so it's unattended. So it's still there. It's still buried down. It's still suppressed. So we can we need to heal, of course, but changing because of the grief, we're having trouble sleeping, eating. Our energy is gone because you notice if somebody's grieving or angry or upset, their demeanor is different. It draws so much out of you, because that keeps you distant. It keeps you upset all the time. Like just it keeps you in a bad place. A bad place. You don't want to be bothered with nobody. You're irritable. You snap easy. So those are unattended griefs. Things like that. We need to heal and feel the pain. That is hard because when I started healing and I had to go through that pain again, it's like it's all over again. But you have to do it because if you don't, it's going to stay there. It's going to stay unattended. It's going to stay deep down. It's going to stay buried down. You have to attend to it. You have to recognize it. It's scary. Change is very, very scary because if you don't change, you're not going to grow. You're not going to grow out of it. You're not going to. So you have to turn the pain around and you have to lose it. We know that staying the same, people rather stay the same. That's why they don't attend to it. They rather just stay in the pain. You keep feeling sorry for yourself. You don't want anything different. You don't want to do anything about it. Time to show up for yourself because we're abandoning ourselves by not recognizing the pain. And sometimes we don't recognize the pain until we're triggered. That's when I realized how damaged and hurt I still was. Because I thought I had attended to the grief and the pain that I endured through my two marriages. I thought I had attended to the pain that I endured with, like my niece was taken from us. She, I thought I dealt with some of that stuff, but you get triggered, and when you get triggered, it comes back up anyway. So if it come back up, you need to start dealing with it instead of just suppressing it again. And a lot of times we suppress it by drinking. I know I did. A lot of time we suppress it by smoking, cigarettes, and a lot of time we suppress it by, just staying angry, secluding ourselves from people, friends, functions. You're missing out on life, turning your back on everything because you don't want to deal with that pain. You don't want to attend with that grief. You don't want to get that grief out of you. And if you don't get it out of you, how is life going to get better? How are things going to get better? How are you going to be happier? Because grief is a sad place to be. It's a very uncomfortable place to be. But we stay there because we don't want to come out. We don't want to deal with it. But we have to, in order to grow, in order to move on with your life, in order to even start another relationship. And personally, I think sometimes our relationships don't last because we still didn't deal with that unattended grief from the last relationship. So we're taking on another one and then another one. So now you're hurting the people that you're taking on because maybe they're healed or maybe they're not. Two unhealed people together is disaster. It's disaster. In order to move on, you're going to have to deal with the grief. You're going to have to wallow in it. I don't care what it takes. The best cure or the best thing you can do for people dealing with that is to be a listening ear. Let them talk. Let them get it out. Let them cry. Let them punch a bag. Whatever it takes to get it out, to get the anger out, the frustration out. Because it's down there. It's still there. And it's like walking on eggshells because you don't know when this person is going to snap. You don't know when this person is going to, do anything. And some things happen tragically because of unattended grief. You know what I'm talking about. People are out of here because of anger and frustration. Instead of dealing with it, they take it out on somebody else. Road rage just kept popping right into my head. You mean to tell me you're going to take somebody out because they passed you? Or because maybe they didn't see you coming and pulled out in front of you? Anger, frustration is there. It's there. I'm not saying you're not going to fuss because, and I'm not saying that you're not going to be upset and you're not going to get angry sometimes. It comes with the territory. We're human. It happens. What I'm talking about is that grief, that hurt that's inside of you, that's keeping you from moving on, that's keeping you in that same spot, that's keeping you stuck in that same mindset. I've talked about it, all my videos, they probably all dwindle down to the same thing. I might come at you differently, but I'm saying basically the same thing. We need to heal and move on. We need to heal so we can have a different life, a better life. Go to the source. Get into solitude. Manifest things in your life. Talk to the person that maybe that healed, that hurt you, that caused you to grief. Sometimes we don't know that we hurt you. Sometimes people don't know how much they hurt you. Let them know. Get it off your chest. Get it out of your system so you can go on and have a better life, a happier life. Who don't want to live happier? Who don't want to feel good? Because all of that stuff causes health issues also. Stress kills. Depression kills. Get it out. Go to God. Go to a friend. Talk it out. Get it out. Don't keep it suppressed. Don't stay there. Don't do it. Don't do that to yourself. Love yourself and know who you are. Find your purpose. Find a hobby. Anything to get this stuff out of you, anything to move on with your life, anything to have a better life, because God did not put us here to grieve all the time. To grieve. The one thing that's sure is taxes and death. And death is a grief that no one can explain until you go through it. But you do know that we're all going to die one day. We prepare for life, but we never prepare for death. But some of that grief has been put upon us from other people. That's the grief we need to try to get off of us. That grief. If you think anybody needs to hear this, please share. Please share. And I really appreciate it. My subscriptions are still going up. And I love it. I love it. We are having a food giveaway tomorrow at Redeemer Love Fellowship Church, 506 South Pomona Road. That's in Galloway. If you know of anybody that need anything, because I know I'm going to be in line. You know, I'm in the grocery store at Frizz right now. So come out tomorrow from 10 to 12 and Redeemer Love Fellowship Church, where Dr. Alicia A. Oatman Gaskin, I'm sorry, is our overseer. Okay, I'll see you there, because I'll be there tomorrow passing out food. I got to go now and unload the truck, and I'll be there tomorrow. So come out and see us. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Jennifer Brooks. I am your Southern Belle, and I am on the right road now. Come on the road with me. God bless.